Hi peeps, it's Tersse back in the squat box once again. I'm here to talk more about numbers, or maybe not numbers, but concepts, ideas, things we dream about. For instance, mathematics is numbers, isn't it? Well, actually it isn't. Mathematics also includes the monster called infinity. Infinity. Any idea what infinity is? Give me the biggest number you can think of. Biggest number. I'll add a 1 to it. You add a 1 to that, and I'll add a 1 to that, and I'll add it. And then your biggest number just got bigger by 1 every time we talk to each other. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It's just got it. So, what is infinity? Well, there's no end to infinity, is there? But what if you try to say, well, let's subtract infinity by itself? Surely that will give us a number like 0. Well, that doesn't work either. Because you can always have infinity minus 1, which would actually give you 1. Infinity minus 1 give you 1. Oh, you know, how does that work, you know? Well, say you've got a hotel that's got an infinite amount of rooms, you know, and someone comes in and says, I'll get an infinite amount of friends, and they make room for you because it's an infinite hotel, you know. But the next morning, everybody checks out. Everybody. An infinite amount of people plus an infinite amount of people all check out except one person. So it's not actually infinity leaving the hotel, is it? It's infinity minus 1, which leaves one person in one room, which means that you get a hotel with 1 room. Infinity minus 1 gives you 1. See, infinity is to mathematics as philosophy is to the real world. You know, basically that's what it is. Philosophy is a huge bunch of ideas that you can just imagine anything. What if this? What if you had to push a fat man in front of a train to derail it so it didn't kill 5 people? You know, so, you know, that's philosophy. You know, well, infinity is the same fucking thing in mathematics. What if an infinite amount of this did an infinite amount of that to the same amount of this? What would happen? You know, it's the philosophical monster in mathematics, just like in real life. Whatever you philosophize about. You know, like, philosophy is philosophy is the same concept in reality to reality that, you know, infinity is to mathematics. At least that's the sort of view I have it. It's not a consistent view. I'm sure many mathematicians would disagree with me, and many philosophers would disagree with me as well. But that's just the way I see it, and it's the way that I can conceive of it. It's the way I can look at it and conceptualise it, understand it. You know, I think it's quite a good conceptual view of infinity and philosophy. You know, to me it's the same things where I'm talking about life, things that may happen to me, you know, and then thinking about numbers and things that can happen to numbers. You know, both of them are the monster in the room when you talk about stuff. Talk about morality and bring philosophy into morality, and then bang, there you go, you've got infinity. Because there's an infinite amount of fucking straw men you can build. Every person can invent a straw man depending on the view they have on the real world situation they're trying to describe to someone else so they can understand their view of it. Bang, there you go. philosophy is infinity. And the same way mathematicians, you know, when you start to bring, you know, what is the largest number, how could, you know, this large number be interactive with another number, and, you know, without there being an end to the calculation, you've got infinity, you know. It's the monster in the room. That's why a lot of people don't understand numbers. Because there are finite numbers, there are finite calculations you can make in certain formulas. Even Graham's number's got a last digit. It doesn't have a... This is the thing. It doesn't have a last series of numbers. You know what I mean? Although you know the last digit, you don't know how many numbers are between the last digit and the starting number. It could be an infinite amount of numbers, but you do know that the last digit is 7. All you've got to work out is, what's the first number? Then maybe you could find out what the infinite numbers between the first number and 7 are, you know, but it's an infinite amount of numbers depending on where you start your calculation. But it will always end in a 7 apparently, according to Graham, and it's his number, so I trust him. You know. He is a scientist, well, he's a mathematician, well, no, he's not, well, is he a mathematician? To be honest with you, I thought he'd be just somebody who worked out insurance statistics, but it could be that he's a mathematician, because that's the sort of person insurance brokers would hire. So yes, he's a mathematician, so yeah. The last number, Graham's number, is a 7, yet Graham's number can be infinitely long and still end in a 7 every time. That's weird, isn't it? Isn't that fucking weird? It's like it's like you start talking about morals, philosophical, you know. If you're a moral person, you always end up making the same choice. You save the biggest number. But then, that's immoral if you have to kill someone in order to save the biggest number. There you go, there's a crux of the matter. There's a loop. And infinity's a loop as well. It always comes back on itself and increases itself by at least 1, or infinity. It can never increase by 0 unless it's already got a number in there, but then you're increasing it by 10,000, 100, a billion, 10 billion, trillion, quadrillion, you know, gigaplex, you know, Graham's number, you know, yeah, there's 0 at the end. So you can't do that with Graham's number, because it apparently always ends in a 7. You can't multiply it by 10 or by 0, I don't know, you know, you put a 0 and add it by a digit. You can't do that with Graham's number, apparently, because it always ends in a 7. It's strange. I don't understand that. Graham could probably explain that to you, anyway. But I'm sure he's got a starting number that gives him the 7. A bit like when people start moralising at you from a philosophical point of view, they've always got a starting point, the straw man to start with, which leads you to the, this is what you've got to choose, and if you don't, then you're an immoral person. So infinity and philosophy. Yeah. Both of them, the gigantic elephants in the room. Yeah. So yeah, that's just the way I see it anyway. What do you think? What do you think about infinity? What do you think about philosophy? Is there ever an end to a philosophical discussion that's acceptable to each person in the discussion? Can any two mathematicians agree what infinity is? can you and your mate talk to each other over a few beers or several dozen beers, ever come to a conclusion of what philosophy or infinity means? Let me know.